Hey guys, this is Growth Beast, co-founder of Growth Stories, the first on-chain marketing newsletter in this space, and welcome to another edition of our minicast. Today we have Carla Monni, co-founder of Monniverse and one of the biggest creators of Phaver. She's known as Crypto Mermaid, so go follow her. Her content is always fire. Carla, welcome to the minicast.
Hello, hello. Thank you so much for having me here.
Carla, what prompted you to become a creator in the first place?
In my case, it was very natural. I met Tommy long time ago, and then he revealed my mermaid self to through favor. So I started helping him, and I really believed in the Phaver coast since the beginning. I wanted to give my hand, and that here I am, basically.
So, what growth tips do you have for creators who just want to start right now?
So I always say this, and I hope that resonates with more people. But listen to your audience. Like in my case, something that was super useful was really read people comments, but for real, like understand what they were, how they were perceiving me first of all, and really trying to understand which type of personality my followers had, and go along with that. Create elements of interactivity all the time. So don't keep it as your audience. Like I always like to make the example of Beyonce versus Taylor Swift, in the sense that Beyonce has huge audience. Like she creates a huge show for people to admire. But for example, the Swifties are invested actively into the story of Taylor, and they follow her all along and they do things. And I feel like especially younger generation are looking forward to this type of interaction, no? With their content, like more and more.
I agree, and I think Favor makes it pretty easy to interact, right? I mean, I'm a creator myself as well, and you're way more active, although that's gonna change with this podcast coming in. Um, but I think I wanted to ask you for a long time, eh, throughout your journey as a creator, what's been the biggest challenge in growing on chain?
The biggest challenge was to build credibility in the beginning, to be able to be seen as someone to follow for real. Um, I think that I invested. That's why I thought a lot about how I was perceived by people, and the big part of the reason why I'm the mermaid now was because I was referred many times as mermaid by people, by users, and I decided to adopt that because sometimes we have an idea about ourselves and we want that to work, but maybe that is not the best solution, and people really give you the answer many times. They tell you just a matter of listening. So yeah, building credibility, and but I think for that is really a matter of being authentic. Like it never. That's why I say don't try to be something you're not. Like if you're being already perceived in a certain way, probably that's your persona. That's exactly what's coming natural for you, and why people are coming back. And so just be authentic, and people will help you understanding your authenticity, and it shows. That's like I do generally care about the people that are in my community. It's a life cause. I want them to succeed with me, and I'm so glad because I feel that they feel it. They feel that I'm putting the work for them.
For Favor and Lens specifically, we're gonna dive into Monniverse in a little bit, but for Favor and Lens specifically, what has been the most effective way to grow on Favor? I know you had a mini masterclass a few weeks ago, but maybe you can share some advice there.
In the beginning, interact a lot. I do still interact a lot. Like sometimes I also get suggested not to interact so much because they say like, then you're a big account now and you're interacting with these accounts with 10 followers, and then some people get suspicious. But I do it honestly because I really want to keep this contact. So for growing, it's too important, especially in the beginning. Like it's the same. Like really, like these dynamics are the same whether it's real life or a digital life. So if you want to make friends, you need to go out and speak with people, and same in the digital world. So don't. don't be ashamed to ask, don't be ashamed to interact. Actually, you have to do it that a lot. In the beginning, oh my god, in the beginning I will be like even 15 hours in a straight, like just putting likes and getting to know people, and trying to understand who was there, and like really like my finger like stuck like this, trying to really like going and hunting and for users, and understand like who are the people that. And it's actually a beautiful discovery, because sometimes like you make real friends like that, and also you realize even what is around, like who are actually using actively that platform. Because if you do it constantly, then of course it's not sustainable. I'm not saying that everyone to everyone go 15 hours a day on Favor, where if you want to. But at least to create some consistency in that. That's my tip. Like and I heard also from Vana when she was giving, like when we were giving this masterclass, she agreed on that. Like in the beginning, replying, and not like GM replying, but really like honest interaction was is too important also, and it was this. It worked also for her.
15 hours is a lot. I think you probably get the alternative to carpet tunnel by just texting a lot.
Mm.
And you know, from being such an active creator, how did you make the transition to something much bigger, which is Monniverse?
I think it's also a matter of personality, because to me, this influencer or whatever part is kind of a side of what I'm building. I'm an idealist, so I really believe in giving, maybe because of also my past. I'm one of these UWC students. I always belong to these systems, international systems for making the world a better place and all that. So, so for me, it's like it really comes from a place of an idealist. So in the beginning, also part of the reason why I was always commenting was because Faber was already in the beginning, and people were not even using comments section. No one was even typing anything. So I started to create these Faber art competitions in which I was literally create these art pieces that were made by the community. So like people had to give me ideas, and I will implement this in these NFTs that I will airdrop to people. Um, so I had this element already, but I feel like because it came in naturally to find people with the same values, and so like that I re- I kind of ended up building, without even realizing, a community. I think that letting them, like creating this this character of the mermaid, and letting them playing with this character, because you can see some of the fun posts about like me doing some weird stuff or marrying Ali 20 times a day, like helped a lot. Community was a natural response of that. I think people really understood that I was there for building something, and it was I'm very grateful, because really I felt like that I attracted somehow people that want to do the same, and so now we're just doing it together.
I think you nailed it in terms of how it all grew together, and I like the campaign idea. I might steal that tactic for boosting engagement for some posts. How do you see Monniverse growing in the short to medium run, 3 to 6 months?
First of all, product will be coming out soon, so very soon you will be able to enjoy our AI system and create stories with us, as well as start to seeing the first stories. So we are producing the first mini stories, and so co-branded. Our goal is really to create proper animations and eventually competing Disney. But that's a very big dream. That's a very big dream. But wouldn't it be so nice that everything will be born from Faber? Just a new Web 2.5 application where people just wanted something fresh, and then something fresh also comes out in the real life. Because I really want to build something for the people of Favor, and not only that they can enjoy regardless crypto. Like it needs to be something that works. Doesn't matter if it's like I don't like we don't want people to come just for her for airdropping, hunting, airdrop huntings or something like that. We want people to come and believe in what we are doing because we are really pioneering animation in this case. And I do really believe also something I recommend for people who want to grow on Favor: be first. Like whatever you're doing, try to be first. And sometimes you can be the first of the first. You can even find your subcategory. But I do really strongly believe in the power being first. Oh, and then you figure it out. Just take the spot, and then you'll figure out how to perfection. It's like we're all doing the same. Like I guess you're doing the same thing as I am. Like we're just going there and taking our spot a little bit at the time, expanding and see how it goes.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and then I know on this mini cast side of things, like our mission is to be able to showcase all the growth stories out there, right? From creators to marketers to projects, however diverse they can be. Um, and I know we're approaching the end, and the last question would be: is there any shortcut to growth?
No, that I think it's only luck. I believe. I think it's but it's kind of forced luck. I think listening again, it's a big part. Like learning some data to read some data. I know people don't like to talk about so much about that, but even whether you're growing on social media or you're building a business or a coffee shop, whatever, like the process is always the same, and data is important. And you need like the better you are at reading the data, the faster you get there. Maybe my thought is filtered by the fact that I've been working in fashion for so long, and the trends, reading trends and predicting trends is something very, very important in fashion. So maybe I'm bringing some of that in what I'm doing, but I do believe in power of numbers. So like you if you understand better who and what you're dealing with, then you're faster at finding a solution. And sometimes we overthink stuff. We're always, but maybe, no, numbers don't lie. Like it's a matter of problem solving.
That is true. Yeah. And that I look at numbers all the time in terms of on-chain growth because I feel like it's just until now it's been kind of like throwing stuff at the wall and see what sticks versus having more of a recipe, not fully, but to a certain extent. Yeah.
But it's very good that you do that. I highly encourage that myself. I think, especially in the beginning and in this stage, it's so important. Like test, 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 try, and then gather data. And once you have enough data, then you can move forward. And so yeah, like bravo, bravo. It's a matter of learning how to fail. For real, don't you think so? Like I'm so tired of these success stories. I want more fail stories. I want people to be more honest and really stop this bullshit. Like it doesn't bring us anywhere. We need to learn how to fail and how to cope with failure so that we can become more successful together. Because behind a successful story, there is 20,000 failure stories in the back that no one talks about. And that's where like actual success, kicks in when you're learning to stand up all the time. And let's stop playing the school kid game. Like we're all a bunch of losers, and let's be proud. Like we will become a winner eventually by learning how to be good losers. Like that's my philosophy of life.
I'm gonna steal that quote. I like that. I'm gonna steal that quote. We're gonna become winners, by learning how to be losers. Yeah, that's good. I'm super excited that you jumped on board and shared about how you to grow on Favor, what Monniverse is about, like the dream for Monniverse, and how creators can jump on and take advantage of all the on chain success, and hopefully not too many failures. So I'm excited to see where you take Monniverse in the next couple months. Maybe we can do a session in 6 months and see where we are, the next growth story, so to speak. And for those still listening in, be sure to mint this episode. It's free to mint now on pods.media, /growth stories, and subscribe to our newsletter. We'll see you in the next one.